Good evening, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Naveen Ganglani reporting for Rappler. We are at the Smart Araneta Coliseum, aka the Big Dome, which will play host once again to another chapter in the epic rivalry of the Ateneo Blue Eagles versus the De La Salle Green Archers. Now, if you guys and girls remember, in the first round of this matchup, De La Salle University came back from a double-digit deficit in the first half to beat Ateneo and in the process snap a 5-year losing streak to their arch nemesis. Now, both teams are coming into this game, let's just say, in separate positions when it comes to the league standings. The Ateneo Blue Eagles are 5-3. They're up there in the standings competing for the second and third seeds. Currently, kind of stuck there with the National University Bulldogs. The De La Salle Green Archers, on the other hand, not so well. They come in with a 3-5 record, second to last in the standings as of the updated league standings by the UAAP last night. Is it surprising? Yes. De La Salle University came into the season as one of the perceived favorites for the UAAP championship. However, the preseason expectations haven't exactly lived up to the hype. Now let's take out where these two teams stand entering today's matchup. Ateneo is 5-3, again, coming off a tough defeat to the National University Bulldogs last Wednesday when both teams played at the Mall of Asia Arena. Here's something to take note of. In that game against NU, Angelo Kwame, the reigning UAP League MVP, let's just say he wasn't exactly himself. He didn't take a lot of shots, didn't score a lot, rebounding was alright, but he wasn't his usual Ange, which begs the question, is the knee injury still bothering him? Now take note, before the season started, Ateneo head coach Tab Baldwin mentioned that Ange would not be practicing so much with the team as to not damage the knee or hurt or possibly re-aggravate the knee injury he was coming off just a few months ago. So, has that affected Ateneo? In the first round, it didn't seem like it affected them so much because they did finish the standings with the second best record in the league, tied with National University. However, given how they performed against the Bulldogs, it begs to ask the question, is Ange 100%? I guess today should give us another good idea where he is. The good news for Ateneo is some of their new guys have started playing better as of late, namely Kai Balungay. He has stepped up, he's rebounding, he's scoring, he's fitting into the system. If he continues to play well, and take note, his breakout game in a loss came when they faced De La Salle University in the first round. Will he play the same or even better this time against the Green Archers? It's one of the notes to keep track of as this game goes on. Ateneo's mindset, despite the distractions, despite the challenges, despite some of the, let's say, obstacles that they've faced this year that they haven't faced in recent years, is business as usual. They're keeping things professional, they're keeping things according to the system, playing on both ends of the floor, trying to improve every single day. And today is another chance for them to get better in their desire to go back to the top of the UAAP pyramid. Now, I will say this. We might see some new quirks in Ateneo's execution today on both ends of the floor. How exactly? We don't know yet. But given their latest loss, there will be adjustments to watch out for, and what better opponent to try that against than De La Salle University. Now, let's talk about the Green Archers. They're 3-5. So, the last time La Salle faced Ateneo, a few of the players said, matalo na sa lahat, wag lang sa Ateneo. Well, unfortunately for the Green Archers, they might have taken that way too literally. They beat Ateneo, they went up to 2-1, and since then, they've lost 4 out of their next 5 games. So, is that just because they take Ateneo seriously and not everyone else? Well, not exactly. There have been a few issues that have come above the surface. For instance, guys have been in and out of the lineup. Evanelle has served suspensions in different games. Shawnee Winston is now nursing a calf injury. Michael Phillips, their big man, their rebounding machine, aka Motor Mike, he's been in and out of the lineup for a variety of ailments. And also recently, their young standout, Raven Cortez, had to miss the last game because of an ankle injury. So, how about today? Will these guys play? Well, Michael is expected to be back in the lineup. Evan is expected to be back after serving his suspension. Raven Cortez will test out that ankle pre-game to see if he can make it. And well, for Deshaun Winston, it's a game time decision. But if I had to make a guess, right now it's looking like a no, which obviously presents a ton of challenges for a team like LaSalle that already struggles on offense sometimes. What more without their main contributor? Now, let's go back to the last contest. What were some of key points and statistics that we can take from that game that maybe will play factors again into this game? For starters, the rebounding. Ateneo was a monster on the glass the last time they faced LaSalle, who is giving up the most rebounds in the UAAP, which is quite surprising given the Green Archers' collection of big men. So, will Ateneo dominate the glass again? Normally, when one team dominates the other on the rebounding department, most of the time, it leads to a win. It didn't last time for the Blue Eagles. But if LaSalle plays with fire that way again, they might not get the desired result that they hope for. Next, Fortsky Padrigao and Dave Ildefonso last game were misfiring from all over the field. They combined to make only 3 or 4 shots on nearly 20 attempts. And still, Ateneo was there at the very end of the game competing for a chance to win. If those two players step up and play their usual games today, plus Ateneo gets contributions from the rest of their roster, well, the Blue Eagles will be in great position to win this game. And that's something the Green Archers will have to force to happen again. Meaning Fortsky and Dave will have to, let's just say, be contested. Now, you can't stop these guys forever. You can't stop players who are talented from scoring. But you can make it hard for them. And LaSalle has the defenders to make their shots challenged. Next point, DLSU shooting. The last time these two teams played each other, LaSalle shot nearly 50% from the field. But that was bolstered by the presence of Shawnee Winston, who was making practically every mid-range jumper that he took. If Shawnee doesn't play, who's going to step up and be the go-to guy for LaSalle when the offense bogs down? Because we know that when it comes to offense, LaSalle tends to struggle sometimes. Will it be Evan Nelly? Will it be some of the younger guys in the roster? Will it be Joaquin Manuel? We shall find out. But someone will definitely have to step up if Shawnee cannot play. And even if Shawnee does play, he might not be 100%, which is all the more reason for other Green Archers to step up and help their team secure the victory. Some more key points. Ateneo starters, they're the best in the UAAP when it comes to scoring, but the opposite can be said for their bench. Their bench unit hasn't stepped up to the plate, and if they want to win this game, the relievers will have to do better than they did last time, and they have been doing the past few games. DLSU's offensive challenges have been well documented at this point. Their late game offense is predictable, it gets stagnant, they take up too much time with the shot clock and have to take, let's say, not so effective attempt with a few seconds left, putting the pressure on guys to create something out of nothing, which again will be more difficult if you don't have a Shawnee Winston. Can Kevin Cambao take the task? Can he be ready to step up when needed to? So far, he's shown that he's willing to take that assignment, but he cannot do it alone. So, there are a lot of questions for both teams entering this matchup. And of course, this late into the UAAP elimination round, each win matters. LaSalle was number 3 in the Final Four race last year. They won the first game of the Final Four, but because they didn't have twice to beat, they got eliminated. Now, Ateneo still has a chance to make it to number 1 or hold off NU for number 2. They need every win they can get. And again, for LaSalle, it's survival mode right now to make the Final Four. They're competing with FEU, Adamson, UE, also NU, Ateneo also, for one of those remaining Final Four spots. They cannot afford more losses. Now let's go to some recruitment news. A San Beda Red Cub player by the name of Boris Marasigan has committed to the De La Salle University Green Archers, as confirmed by Boris to me just a few hours ago. Now Boris is 6'3", he's a shooting guard. He used to play for the UE high school basketball team. He was teammates with CJ Austria and some of the Phenom Championship standout guys that there are in LaSalle's roster right now. The question is, what will he contribute when it comes to the team next year? And better yet, what kind of team will he be inserting? Because if the losses continue to pile up for LaSalle, will they need to make changes? And maybe Boris could be one of the guys to step up and lead them back to the promised land. For Rappler, this is Naveen Ganglani. We'll catch you after the game.